Hey guys, welcome to another movie review. Today I'm talking about the new Jared Hess studio film, a Minecraft movie. This is a film adaptation of the Minecraft video games, while also still kind of being an original story that Jared Hess and his screenwriters of the script have kind of come up with. But in this movie, though, you guys, we follow a character named Steve, a character directly from the Minecraft games. He's played by Jack Black. Ever since he was a kid, he wants to go into these mines that people always seem to be working on. And he finally gets that opportunity to go inside one of those mines when he becomes an adult, and he finds this portal cube along with kind of this little protector device with it, and it sends him into basically the Minecraft world. And there's really not a lot there when he first gets there, but he's a very creative person. And in the Minecraft world, as Steve kind of sets up right away in the movie, as long as it's like a square shape or a cube shape, you can basically create almost anything you want within the Minecraft world as long as it's kind of within those limits. And so while he's there, something goes wrong. These pig warriors are after him. They want this orb that basically allowed him to get into the Minecraft world. So basically, with the orb not being safe being there anymore, he sends his dog out that he met in the Minecraft world. I think his name is Dennis. Tries to find a safe spot out in the real world to place the cube um, until the pig warriors kind of settle and they kind of clearly that Steve doesn't have it and stuff like that. But then we cut to many years later where we meet these kids that move into this neighborhood that Steve once lived in. There's also a character played by Jason Momoa that lives there who's like this former video game champion. And he gets involved with the whole thing. He basically kind of is like this mentor figure to this young kid that moved into the neighborhood. He basically offers like mentor lessons and stuff like that because he's really kind of desperate. He's running this video game store and he doesn't have a lot of money, and so he's kind of looking for every possible way to keep that video game store alive and stuff like that. And over the course of this film, obviously this group of people eventually get into this Minecraft world, and Steve informs them that the only way to get out is to track down the orb that basically got them there to begin with. And the problem with that is not only do they want the orb, the pig warriors from earlier that were trying to imprison Steve for having the orb also want it. So over the course of this movie, it's basically a cat and dog chase to find this orb, make sure it's in the right hands, and for these people that don't want to stay in the Minecraft world, they have a way of getting back out into the real world. But overall, guys, I had a lot of fun with this movie. It's a Minecraft movie. It's not one of those films where it takes itself too seriously. It's having just enough fun where um, that here. Let me get some light in here. It's kind of dark. I apologize. I'll be super super quick about this. There we go. Figure was trying to figure out what kind of lighting I wanted for the video, but now, yeah, I'm happier with that. So, but basically, I'm pretty much happy for the Minecraft movie. It's one of those films where I like that they tried to do an original story, but also kind of doing an IP and finding that balance of can Jared Hess make his movie while still kind of taking on this IP, taking on this big thing that Warner Brothers has got a hold of with the Minecraft property, and be able to kind of make it one of his own while also, not going completely into the studio system while kind of still making his own movie. So I thought there was a nice, healthy balance between those two things. It is one of those movies where there's just as many moments where it feels like a small indie film, and then it immediately goes into the Minecraft world, and then we do kind of get more of a studio project where they got to face off against the bad guys, get the orb, and all this other stuff. But it is a very fun movie. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which I think is one of its strengths with it. But I do want to go over some positives and negatives as to why I enjoyed the film overall, but why it's not going to be like the next Last of Us or the next big video game film that breaks the mold of video game movies becoming bad. There's just enough things here where I really enjoyed it, but there is some things along the way where I think they could have improved it and made a better film overall. But let's go over some positives and negatives. So for my positives, I thought this was a very fun movie. It's one of those films where you just can kind of turn your brain off, just kind of experience this film that you're witnessing. And it is one of those movies too where we do follow a lot of these oddball characters that fit into a Jared Hess film really well. So if you like Napoleon Dynamite, it's very much in that kind of realm of silliness where it's not being too serious, but it is definitely trying to be really silly at the same time. So it's a very fun movie, and if you go in kind of with the right expectations, that it's not completely a Minecraft movie, it's also still kind of a Jared Hess original movie. I think if you witness that balance and kind of look for the right stuff, I think you'll have a fun time with this movie. There's also a villager character that's goes into the real world once. Jason Momoa and these two kids go in there along with their real estate agent, and it's a very fun character. He encounters Jennifer Coolidge, who plays basically the principal of this young boys' school. I think she's like the vice principal or something, and she's basically recently divorced, and so she's kind of looking for a new man to come into her life. And what they do with her and this villager that kind of wanders around the real world, I thought was extremely funny. And do stay around for the mid-credit scene. I think it was probably the biggest laugh I had in the whole screening because I went opening night to see this movie. So do stay for the mid-credit scene, and there's also a post-credit scene. But for sure, the mid-credits. Even if you didn't like the movie, you have to stay for the mid-credit scene because the whole thing with the villager and Jennifer Coolidge for sure pays off in that moment. I don't even want to say what it is because it's so funny, and I try to keep my reviews as spoiler free as possible. But the villager moments really, really fun, specifically when him and Jennifer Coolidge are on screen together, and they kind of form this small little romance as well. It's a lot of fun. I also like how the Minecraft world was overall visualized. It is one of those worlds where they really do kind of stick to the rules of everything has to be a square or a cube in order for it to exist. But it's a big world. There's, pools of water everywhere. There's huge grasslands everywhere. There's mountains. There's castles. There's all these inhabitants that live inside of it. There's all these, like wolf creatures that, Jack Black has a dog that's basically one of them. There's just a lot of things to admire about this world that when we get inside of it, I like how the overall Minecraft world was visualized. It is one of those worlds too where I just kind of want to kind of walk around and look at everything whenever they're doing that in the movie because it is so visually pleasing to the eyes, and that they do keep to the rules of everything has to be a square or a cube shape in order to exist within the Minecraft world. And I also do, like I mentioned overall earlier in the movie or earlier in the review, um, I do like how there is those small indie film moments where we do kind of let Jared Hess make kind of his Napoleon Dynamite with more of a video game tone to it. So I do like how it does kind of find those real world moments to basically be an indie film, still have the tater tots, still have the Napoleon Dynamite looking houses, still have the oddball characters, still have, the people that are kind of socially awkward to be around the normal people and stuff like that. So I do like how Jared Hess did find a film where he gets to have those indie film Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre kind of moments while still kind of taking on a big blockbuster film. So I like how the film does have that balance. I also thought Jared Hess's oddball sense of humor really translates well to Minecraft because it is a very silly looking game when you kind of look at it a certain way. The graphics aren't trying to impress you; they are trying to stick with that whole square cube shape variation. And I do like how his sense of humor really does translate well into just how weird can Minecraft be, just how odd can that be, and how it can be fun, but it's still kind of an odd world to look at the same time. So I do like how he found that balance of keeping his oddball sense of humor and translating it into a Minecraft story. I also thought Jack Black's performance was very fun here. I've always been a fan of Jack Black, but he is one of those actors too where he always finds a way to make me laugh, even if it's a film I don't like. There's something about his presence, the way he tells jokes, the way he incorporates songs into almost everything he does in a movie. I mean, like this film in particular, he has another original song the way he did with the Super Mario Brothers movie. Just the way he presents himself, I think, is super funny. I do like how, kind of like the overall movie, he's not taking it too seriously. He knows exactly the kind of film that he's being a part of. I just liked his character of Steve overall. I liked how he interpreted the character. I like how he's very creative. I like that, he has his problems and stuff like that, but he's very outgoing, very creative, likes to, show people his treasures that he's found in the Minecraft world and stuff like that. So very fun performance. And like I said, he does have some original music that he made for the movie, and, with his Tenacious D background and stuff like that. So very fun character. Loved his performance. If you like Jack Black, I think you're going to have a good time. He's a very good performance in this movie. And Jason Momoa is in this film, and he's one of those actors where there's still times where I'm not completely in the Jason Momoa camp quite yet. I think he's not quite the A-lister actor that some people list him as quite yet. But in this film, I thought his character arc was pretty effective. He does kind of start out being this, nobody person that kind of lost his way after winning this video game champion. And I like overall how the film kind of does give him this character arc. He does kind of become this surrogate father for these two kids. He kind of finds a reason to live, find a reason to be happy again. That's not just about being the best video game player, not just having the best video game store. There is kind of a small character arc that he gets over the course of this film. I like how he does admit that he's had a lot of failure over the years, and how kind of meeting these kids, going into the Minecraft world, meeting Steve, all this other stuff has really kind of taught him to become a better person, and to kind of find your moments in life. Even if each and every day isn't the best life you were hoping for, there is things in it that will keep you going and keep you happy, and find a way to keep being the person that you want to be. So I like the direction that they took with his character. He kind of starts out in a dark place, but he ends up in a happier place by the end of the movie. So I thought overall his character was well written in this film. And I overall do like how the film, it does encourage kids to be creative. There is a lot of scenes where Jack Black shows them this like creativity table where you can make almost anything you want, with weapons or anything like that. And there is a lot of moments where these kids are being encouraged to be creative, think outside the box. Don't just make a hammer. What kind of hammer can you make? What kind of thing can you bring to the Minecraft world that can make it more interesting, make you more frightening as a warrior, make you more creative as an artist? And so I do like how this film does encourage kids to be as creative as possible. Make hybrids of hybrids. Make a wet object and a dry object, make them work together at the same time. And so there's stuff like that that I think is pretty cool about the Minecraft movies. It does encourage creativity in all the right ways, I felt. But for my negatives of the Minecraft movie, unfortunately, the storyline is very thin here. There's really not, outside of Jack Black and Jason Momoa and some of these characters having their small little character arcs, that's really about it. It really is a film where we start off in the real world. It's kind of an oddball place, and then we go into the Minecraft world, and it's even more of an oddball place. And it's a very thin storyline. It's not, going to be a next Scorsese film or a next Spielberg film or anything. So storyline wise, it is a little thin. So I can see why some people were unhappy with that part of the movie. So if you're expecting a big storyline with Minecraft, it is pretty thin here, unfortunately. And this is another film too where you do have to be in the right mind in order to watch it. Napoleon Dynamite for sure for me is one of those films where you do have to be in the right mind to watch it, because if you just show it to an everyday average person that just watches drama or action movies, they're going to think it's the stupidest thing ever made. And there is a lot of times this movie where it's not trying to be serious at all. It is trying to be as silly as it can. So do go into this film with the right mindset. We kind of have that whole Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre kind of mindset where it's not being too serious. Clearly Jack Black and the crew are trying to have fun here while trying to be in this really silly out there world. And I think if you go in with that mindset, I think you'll have a good time. But do go in with that mindset, because if you don't, I think you're really not going to like this movie very much. I also thought more real world scenes could have happened in this movie. There is, some indie film moments, but once we get into the Minecraft world, once the film kind of stays there, we really don't go back into the real world stuff until the Jennifer Coolidge character comes back into play. So I thought more real world scenes would have helped this film overall. There's also some under directing in certain moments. Like there's just a lot of scenes where Jared has clearly just told his cast to, run away from that dangerous thing, or run away from this thing that's chasing after you. There's just a lot of scenes where I felt like some of the cast and crew were given very good direction in certain parts. There's like one moment in particular where like these army of skeletons in the Minecraft world are chasing after him, and it literally feels like the only direction they were given is, oh, there's this dangerous thing chasing you. Run towards the green screen as if something dangerous is chasing you. And so there's just a lot of really minimal stuff like that that does feel a little underwhelming in a sense. It does feel like, we're this really imaginative place in the Minecraft world. Let's have an imaginative way of directing the film as well. And there's just certain moments that don't feel as big as they should. There's also some really unusual costume design choices in this movie. I had this issue when the first trailer for this movie came out with Jason Momoa's outfit. And there's other characters too that have like these weird like bright pink, bright green outfits. And they don't really look very good on camera to me, unfortunately. I know it's to show that how weird their characters are, specifically now that I've seen the movie, I can say that. But it just feels kind of in bad taste in certain parts. Like I think you can make Jason Momoa this weird oddball video game champion without giving him like the ugliest pink outfit you could have given him. It's just one of those things where I don't completely understand the costume design choice. So I thought that aspect of the story was kind of underwhelming. I also thought more mainstream writing and directing choices could have happened here. There's just a lot of parts where I think they could have done more to make people who aren't super familiar with Minecraft more comfortable with it. It does good with certain things like, making the square and cube shapes consistent, but overall I think there is more things they could have done to make more modern audiences more comfortable with the Minecraft world overall. But overall, I'm going to give a Minecraft movie an 8.5 out of 10. It's a very fun movie. There's a lot of fun things about it. It definitely has an oddball sense of humor. Like I said, a couple negatives along the way, specifically in the storyline department and the costume design choices. And I think more real world scenes would have helped it out a lot, specifically with it being a live action movie. But 8.5 out of 10 for me. It's a very fun movie if you go in with the right expectations. If you don't go in expecting just pure Minecraft or pure indie film, I think if you go in expecting kind of the best of both worlds, I think you'll have a fun time with this movie. It's 8.5 out of 10 for me. I recommend seeing a Minecraft movie.